Welcome to the Sea Archer podcast. I don't know how to say it.
Say it. Good job.
This is the Sea Average Podcast.
Welcome to the Sea Average Podcast.
Welcome to the Sea Average Podcast.
More like the world's okayest podcast.
What's up, everybody? Sea Average Podcast episodes. It is actually 75 this time. I've said it past 2 times because I don't ever fucking remember the episodes numbers, but this one is actually episode 75. Today we got myself, Chris Webb, Tyler Thomas, Kevin Salyer, and Mikey Scheid. We got back-to-back weeks with guests. Today we got dropping my fucking mic out. Sorry. We got a CEO and entrepreneur, game designer, publisher, founder of Rookie Mage Games. I'm saying that right? Mage?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Dungeons and Dragons, right? He's in a fellow Columbus, Ohioan. We give it up for Jordan McLaughlin. I fuck it up.
Thanks for having me.
I fuck it up. I said it again.
No, you got it.
McLaughlin. There. Whatever.
I was
We'll get him
cheering
once twice.
him on and you, Chris.
I was trying
for
hard.
getting it right.
I can read that name like 4 times and still be like, I think I said it wrong. Regardless, appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, I'm actually very interested in this because one, you created a bunch of like board games, card games. How the hell do you go about that? Going into one, creating a game, getting it developed, then like I'm sure a patent, all that stuff has to come into play, right?
Yeah, like it's something I never like thought I would ever be into. This all started with I was playing games with my cousin one night, and she leaned over and just said like, "Hey, you should make one of these." And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking should make one of these." And I was very drunk that night. And the entire car ride home, I'm like working out the game in my head of like, I'm going to call it Don't Get Stabbed. It's going to have one person as the killer and everyone else is victims. It's going to do this and that. Yeah. And my poor partner, the entire ride home was probably just rolling his eyes thinking like, I can't get this guy to shut the fuck up. But then, the next day it was still there. And like, I ordered blank, like poker cards from Amazon, some magic markers, and just went to town trying to make something that worked. And then like 2 weeks later, like same group of people, we back together and like, okay, we're playing my game to see if it works. And it worked. And they are like, okay, you actually have to do something with this now.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
I started figuring out how to do the artwork. So for Don't Get Stabbed, I did the artwork for that. And I'm not.
I was about to say, that is awesome. I love the artwork.
It's sweet.
I love
Really?
the
Yeah.
artwork. Yeah.
That is like the absolute max of my artistic ability. I knew going
great.
into it, like, if South Park can get away with this, I can get away with this.
Right?
Oh,
So
yes.
I went somewhere between Scooby-Doo and South Park was what I was trying to do. And it so far I've been able to get away with it. For some of the newer games, like I got like illustrators and stuff to help with.
Yeah.
So people don't get stuck having to look at my bad art all the time. But yeah, then it was like, okay, like we got to get it funded, so let's go to Kickstarter. So I figured out how to do Kickstarter because like that's a whole thing. If you've ever done a Kickstarter, there's a whole like community with certain expectations and like understanding how to do rewards and fulfillment. And so got that figured out, got it ordered. We had a company make it, and then like 6 months later, a semi pulls up in front of my garage with a bunch of pallets of games. And is like, oh crap, this is real now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome. So like, how did you get the like manufacturing? Is it just you had to find someone that could actually build it for you, or?
Yeah. So I joined like a couple Facebook groups of like other people that like make games and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like one of my biggest fears going into is like, okay, I'm going to get it funded. I'm going to have all this money. I'm going to wire it to someone to make it, and I'm never going to fucking hear from them again.
Yeah.
So I went to these groups and I'm
Risky.
like, who is like, a reputable company that I could have make this? And the company that I eventually went with is called Long Pack. They have a good reputation, and I've always had good experiences with them.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, which is outside of their control, is like when they make it, when it actually is ever going to show up, like on my
shipping stuff like
doorstep.
that. Gotcha.
Because it's in like I order for the year now. I used to just when I got low, I would order.
Yeah.
Now I just order for the year because it's totally unpredictable when I'm actually going to get stuff in. Like
Gotcha.
earlier this week, I put in my Christmas order for next year because
Okay.
it might take 8 months for it to get here.
Right.
Damn.
Oof.
That's insane. I've never until now, like researching like for like this interview and stuff, that I've never even thought about how games are made. Or there's like you go to a store and there's a fucking game there. Obviously,
The
there's always
process.
the
There's
process
a
of it is
lot
going
of
even a lot
people
more into it.
involved.
Yeah. Like
a lot
when
of
I went
people
into it, I didn't expect as much depth into it as what there is. Because even if when you get into like play testing to make sure like people like are playing it right, but also the instructions is the hardest part of trying to get people to actually understand what you're trying to say.
Right.
Because
Like
like
any game.
yeah, like with a video game, when you make rules, the game doesn't let you break the rules. Like you can't walk through this wall. That's a rule in a video game.
Yeah.
In a card game, if someone wants to pick up a card and throw it somewhere, I can't stop them. And in their head, they're like, well, can I do this? And I'm like, no, there's nothing in there in the instructions that says you can do this. Why would you assume that? So you have to like go through and try to like think of like what are things people might, for whatever reason, think that they're supposed to do with this, and put in a rule saying they can't do it.
Wow.
Right.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
just think of all the card games we used to play growing up and how many different variations there were when you play with different people. Like it was like, well, no, that's not right. It's this way or whatever, Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have like 3 different styles of Uno in my house. Right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Like,
There was a thing earlier this year where the designer of Uno came out and said something that like everyone's playing it wrong with the +4 card.
+4, yeah.
And of course, Monopoly is notorious of everyone plays it wrong. They put money into free parking, but there's nothing in the rules about it. It's just what people started doing.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So
and like I
make it your
get
own.
people that text like that email me and they're like, hey, we changed the game this way. Is that fine? I'm like, I don't care.
You paid for it, sure.
Like if
Yeah,
it makes
right.
you happy and you're having fun, great. I don't care in the slightest.
That's all. So like what did you do, or do you have a different job, or is this strictly your only more payment now? You just
This is my full-time job now.
That's awesome.
I
Nice.
worked in marketing before this. And then I went, when I kind of realized like this is something, I went part-time.
I'm sorry,
gotta
Tyler.
see
Just gotta
I see it. I see it in the.
He's creeping in the back.
He's trying to be sneaky. It's not going so well. I apologize.
He just wants bowl ice cream. Just get a bowl ice cream.
I want a bowl of ice cream.
Oh, no shit. That sounds delicious right now.
So like I went to like part-time because like it was taking up so much of my time. I couldn't do my full-time job, but I'm like, I still need health insurance and all that other like adult crap.
Yeah.
Right.
So like before I totally, cut the umbilical cord, we went part-time for like a year and a half or so. And then eventually got to the point of like, okay, like I can't do even this anymore. Like it just keeps taking more and more of my time. We've got to cut the cord. And so we did that earlier this year.
That's awesome. So now you're
Nice.
just living your
Congrats.
dream, man.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
congrats
cool.
on that.
Yeah, it's terrifying yet awesome.
Yeah. Understandable as well. I mean, just to make that leap of, well, here we go. It's either sink or swim.
Yeah,
So, I mean-
exactly. Like if it doesn't work, there's no one I can blame. Like it's all on me.
But again, that's also awesome because but now you know. Like one of my biggest things I always teach my kids is to never say what if. Like what if I did this? You know what I mean? That's gonna eat you up. So now that you're actually doing it, and now say even if you do, tank or whatever it is, at least that you give it your shot, and like you pursued your dream, which is like damn near pursuit of happiness almost.
Yeah, and I've got stuff that I can show that like I'm proud of, and like long after I'm gone, family members can still play my games and stuff. Like there's a little bit of piece of me in all these.
So where did you start? Like school? Did you do schooling or anything like that? Like what got you into doing all this? Like
I mean, I got into like kind of graphic design and stuff right outside of college.
Okay.
So my degree is in political science, and then I graduated in 2007, right into like the Great Recession. So there was like nothing job wise out there. So I had to like kind of get new skills in order to like be competitive in it.
Yeah.
So like I started learning how to do websites, and in order to do websites, you have to learn a little bit of graphic design.
Yeah.
So I started learning that, and then it just kind of kept building to where eventually doing graphic and marketing just eventually became my job, which is very helpful when I moved this over, because like I already know how to market it and everything. I just got to figure out the other stuff.
Oh wow.
So I've played. You sent those to my house. All the games went to my house. The other guys haven't got to play them yet.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. You got to steal everything, man.
Send us a
So
picture
I've
of
been,
like the whole layout. I'm like,
oh, this is fun.
what?
Ah, fuck you, man. You just want to play it too.
Shit.
So I've been playing. I played Oh Nuts tonight with the kids, and I just got to say, what's that one card called?
Stop and drop your nuts.
Yeah, fuck that card. And then we played Portal Potties, which the kids have enjoyed. We played that multiple times. So
yeah, I made that. My nephews were going through like the poop phase where everything poop
They
is
love
hilarious. And to be fair, I never got out of that phase. Like, all hilarious.
Us either.
But like my first 3 games were all like adult oriented, and so they weren't allowed to play them, and like they were getting ready to kill me, knowing like what I was doing and that they weren't allowed to play them. So like, all right, I'm gonna start making some like family friendly stuff. So like I did O Nuts, I did Zombies Want Pizza, and I did Portal Potties. And Portal Potties I really love just the theming of being wizards that use their magic to teleport poop. Like,
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, especially those two, the Portal Potties and the O Nuts, won a Hot Diggity Award.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yep.
Is that...
So those it's like a company that like rate products and stuff. So I sent it into them and got awards for it of, just a good product for families.
Oh yeah, man.
So
where
I just
where do you
submitted
come up
those
with your
for,
ideas?
Where do I get them up with my ideas? Mostly alcohol.
Cheers.
Yeah, right.
I have a Google spreadsheet in my phone, and just when a random stupid thing pops in my brain, just throw it in there. And then when it comes time of like, okay, it's time to start working on another game, I open up there and start going through, seeing kind of like what might work. I have a game coming out in spring that I'm going to put on Kickstarter called Nuns with Nunchucks. And
I saw the
most of the stuff in there is all from just the stupid crap that I would think of either when I was drinking, or it's like 2:00 in the morning and like I couldn't sleep, so it pops in my mind, so I have to get up and get to my phone and write it down so I don't forget.
Damn.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, it's random crap that just pops in there. There's no like science or anything. It's crap.
It's good crap.
Yeah, but
good
I love
crap,
the motivation, man. Just like going at it. Like, yeah, you seem to have done a lot of things. So
yeah, like
keep at it. Yeah.
Like one of the things I wanted, like when I realized this was going to be a thing, was like I can't put all my eggs in one basket with one game. Like I've got to create something a little bit for everyone, so there's some variety, because like one person doesn't like Don't Get Stabbed, and like, well, they might like Oh Nuts, so I still got something that I can offer for everyone. And I've kind of built it out. I've got some other stuff, like I'm working on a drinking game right now, because like drinking games are huge,
right?
Working on a murder mystery game, like different things to like try to appeal to different people, so I have a little bit for everybody.
A big range. So I got a quick story. Back this has got to be 3 or 4 years ago. I actually tried. I had a game idea for me and my brother have always played ever since we were younger. He's a really good golfer, but we couldn't go to the range or go to play golf anywhere. My dad had a decent sized backyard, so we had golf wiffle balls, and so we just basically play 9 holes around our house, because you can hit those balls as hard as you want and it will not break anything, you don't damage anything at all. So I had the idea of, I've got like PCP pipe, and I made a circle and I made like my own holes, and you can basically just toss them around, your yard. Anybody can play a full 9 or 18, whatever you want to do around your house. So I actually went to a lawyer to see if I had any kind of idea like how patents or anything like work. And he basically told me, like, because it's so easy to make. Anybody can go to Home Depot and do it. That's like it's not even going to be worth trying to go at it. I'm like, fuck, man. So no guarantee I'm going to see somebody have a game already, something like mine.
Yeah, but how many people actually do go make it? They
Yeah,
say
exactly.
they can.
Well, no, that's
Sometimes
they-
the benefit
they-
is that you're offering a prepackaged, already ready to go thing.
Yeah. So I guess
People like it when it's easy.
yeah. So I guess did you have to go get patents for each one of your games, or is like how does that work?
So for game mechanics, you cannot copyright them because you're not actually making anything. It's just the rules. So you can't copyright, but you can't get a patent, but like you can copyright. So like no one can just throw "Don't Get Stabbed" on a box and similar artwork. Like I could still go after them under that. But because it's using cards and shuffling and all that other stuff, you can't patent that because it's just kind of public domain that everyone can do it.
Gotcha. So like you can't. So could you technically make a game like Uno but call it like One or something like that? And could they do anything about that, or is it like can they come after you for it?
I mean, they could probably come after you,
Come after
but
you for it.
like
But-
it's whether
they're such a
they're
big
actually
company, yeah,
bothered
you're-
or not, it's a whole other story. you know?
Gotcha.
And I think there is actually I think there is a game called One that is a ripoff.
Nice. That's funny. So now I
America,
put,
man, we'll steal your shit.
right? Oh, now
Well, there's
I'm
been a couple Don't Get Stabbed lookalikes that have showed up over the past year. I'm like,
Oh, really?
It's a little close, but you know, it's the way of the business, so I'll just let it go.
What's
Yeah,
your
nice.
what's your best seller?
Don't Get Stabbed, still a bestseller.
And what's your favorite?
My favorite is probably The Unseen, which is the like least selling game actually. So the Unseen's about a cult that's taking over a town. Have you ever heard of like a werewolf game, Mafia, Secret Hitler, any of those?
Yeah.
yeah.
So like you have one person that's the cult leader, and they brainwashed a couple other people that to be in their cult. And they all know who each other are, and they're going to lie and manipulate everyone else to hide the cult leader's identity, so the cult leader doesn't get like executed at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the one, like any family or friends Thanksgiving or Christmas, like that's the one that always gets brought out for everybody.
Nice.
Because it's very get in people's face with your finger, call them a fucking liar type game. Like it's like one time we played it, and like there was this 10-year-old girl standing on a chair with her finger in her mom's face calling her a liar, and I was like, oh, this is good.
That should be the picture on the box.
I turned that video into a Facebook ad.
Nice. That's perfect.
That's exactly what this game's intended for.
Right.
So are the people in the ad, like I've seen like the commercials and stuff like on, or like the pictures, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Are those people you know, just random ass people? Like
Most of them are people I know, pictures wise. I blackmail family and friends to be in marketing materials. Some of the videos, there's a company that I can use that will do like it goes to like people that have like little studios in their basement, and they can like make little promotional videos and stuff.
Oh,
So I've
nice.
done a couple of those, but most of the ones you're seeing, like those are my friends and family that I offered free pizza and beer to show up to let me take their picture playing the game.
Hey man, I like pizza and beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We need some
Play
guys.
test is when I need to play test. I have a play test party and offer free pizza and beer for people to come play the game and
Oh,
let me
sure.
hover and watch.
I say
That
you
is
got
awesome.
count
we
us
have-
in.
between all of us, we have how many kids? Shit,
12.
Oh, God.
12 of us.
12 kids.
12
Holy
between
crap.
all four of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So need some kids to play. We got you covered.
That's why we
too.
do these podcasts at 10 o'clock at night.
Can't help
Yeah,
it.
like I had 5 kids in the office for a Christmas party over the weekend, and I'm still cleaning. I still find sprinkles in places. Like,
Welcome
how
to
the
my
hell they
life,
even get
bro.
Glitter.
That's it's a non. You just clean. I clean up, and then 5 minutes later, it's fucking messy again. It's just how it is. There's no
no
getting
point.
around it. No, at some point, it's like fuck it. I'm not even gonna worry about it now.
So
it just starts
what-
piling up.
So what's your favorite card game or like board game or whatever that you grew up on that is your absolute favorite?
mine is probably, I'm gonna say Risk.
Risk?
Mm,
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid game.
It
I
used
get-
to be like me and a couple friends, like in high school, we'd steal some of his dad's beers and go down to the basement and be up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning playing
Yeah.
Risk.
Did it ever end? I mean, did you ever like leave the house and like just leave it where it's at right now. Like,
no, we couldn't do that because
no,
my
But
friend was
so
not trustworthy. He would.
That's
would
what I was
move
about
that
to
shit
say, man.
around
That's a
the moment we left.
trustworthy game. Like,
No.
oh, I swear to God. Okay,
shit.
all right, Risk. Mine would have probably been Candyland. I loved Candyland.
Oh yeah,
It's-
Candyland brings back lots of good memories, and Hungry Hungry Hippos. Back when I was
Yes.
younger, that was good
This is a
stuff.
good one.
Games.
My kids have that now, but they've lost like
All the
half the
balls.
fucking marbles.
Yeah. Until you're at night and walking around the house and you
Yeah,
fucking
you
step on
step
it
on it.
and fucking find it.
We had
I think ours got
Mouse
broken
Trap.
within 10 minutes.
We had Mousetrap, but we only
Mousetrap.
had like half the pieces to it. So I don't think I've ever
Oh.
actually played it. I've just like played with the pieces.
Half of it, right?
I'm
I
really
don't think
good
I
at
ever
this
actually
part.
played that game. I always just set it up and set off the mousetrap, and that was it. I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and played it. Yeah. As a kid, that's really fun.
That is fun.
I did see because I was actually probably jealous of this. You were at GalaxyCon not too long
Yeah.
ago because I wanted to go to that pretty bad because I that's a bucket list of mine of going. I did that one. I want to go to the actual Comic-Con in California, but that's a whole other thing. But
Where's
how was that? How'd that go? Did
GalaxyCon?
you like do you get a nice setup? Did a lot of people show up?
Yeah, like that was probably the best show I've done so far.
Yeah.
So I started doing shows this year, just trying to get out there more, like just doing something else, and it gives me an excuse to go to another city, stay in a hotel, and have some fun.
There you go.
So like I went to GalaxyCon, that did really well there. I went down to Lexington to Scarefest.
Oh, nice.
So I've hit a couple of like the horror movie conventions because Don't Get Stabbed does really
Right.
well in that community.
Yeah.
So I'm doing horror ones, and I'm doing kind of like any local like pop culture comic ones. I've been doing.
Do you dress up when you go to those?
I normally don't, but for the next one to promote Nuns with Nunchucks, I actually have a nun outfit that I'm
No.
going to wear.
Nice.
I've got a
the one
nun
you- is that
outfit,
the
and
one
I've
you
got my
posted on
own
your-
nunchucks for me to go around and hit people with.
Like real, like grade nunchucks, or like do they have to be foam? Like,
Oh, they're
'cause you
foam.
go in there with like weapons, like
Oh yeah, I'll give
it's
myself
part of the
a black eye
costume.
in no time.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a bad idea.
Is that the photo you have on your Facebook?
I just changed it, but yeah, it was there.
Is that the one that's you're gonna? Nice.
Yeah. I kept trying to convince some of my friends to do it, and none of them would do it. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to do it myself. So I ordered it, tried it on, and embarrassed myself in front of people for a little bit, and now I'm going to go do it in public.
That's awesome. Kevin, you got anything? You've been quiet up there, man.
Yeah. How long does it take you from like start to finish? I mean, to make a game, like I know you start getting ideas in your head. It takes a while probably to accumulate enough to actually make a game out of it.
Mhm.
But like when you get those ideas and then you start like, okay, I'm going to put it all, set it up, start writing it out, putting everything down. How long does it take you from start to finish?
It varies a lot depending on how well the game works. Because sometimes like I'll have games that like I think are going to work out great, and then they get to play testing and they're just fucking disasters, and it's just okay, this goes back on the shelf, or it's like I think I can fix this. But like typically, like if everything goes well from when I start to when I actually have it in my hand to sell, it's probably a year to a year and 3 months. And a lot of that is the production time.
That's dedication.
Yeah. Because I mean,
That's
a lot of
dedication.
like, you sit there and you wait 8 months for something to show up. So like you start working on other games in the meantime, because like you can't just sit there. Like you gotta fill the time,
How do you-
doing other productive stuff.
How do you get the people to participate? I mean, how do you involve all these people other than like, I mean, just like pizza or something, like pizza and beer or something? Like, is that all it takes? Like you put out a post, like
So I go through like
Like-
different kind of like layers of play testing. So like the first layer is my partner who tries everything that I do and then tells me if it's a good idea and I should follow it, or if it's fucking stupid and I need to go stand in the corner and think about what I made. So once he gives like the green light of like, okay, this is a thing, you're allowed to try to do this, then I'll make it. And then I do like the play testing parties with family and friends, which most of the time is just pizza, beer, guilt trip, and I can get them all there. And that's really just to make sure the game works exactly as it's supposed to, that people can read the instructions and that it does actually, reflect what I want the game to be.
Cool.
And then the third one is I go to blind playtesters, like people that I've actually never met. I had like a sign up on sheet on my website for a while where people put in their information. So games go to them with like a little sheet that they fill out and they send them back to me and give them like a $25 Amazon gift card for their time. And that's kind of like the final phase. Like, as long as everything is still matching up correctly, then I'm like, okay, time to start moving into production.
Well, let us know, because we will be a part of the next one.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
working on getting the final prototypes of Nuns with Nunchucks in. So when I have that, I will send one to you guys to try out.
Absolutely.
Man. I can't wait. Have you ever dabbled in like video games or anything like that? Or is it like strictly just is that a whole different ballpark?
I try to give myself like new projects every year of like learn how to do video editing, learn how to do this. And one year it's like, okay, I learned the basics of how a video game works. So I made some like brief, like 1 level games at one point. So there's this like urban legend in my hometown called the Yeti testing facility it's this place out in the middle of the woods where supposedly the government is raising a Yeti army and doing testing and stuff. So I made a shooter like Contra, where you were going through and you were shooting and these Yetis and like they'd fly apart and like bloody arms and everything would go everywhere.
Can we play this?
Huh?
Can we play this? Like,
I don't know if I even still have the file.
But put it on a flash drive and send it to me.
I'll see if I can find it. But that's kind of the most I've ever gone into it. Video games are like in the long-term plan of some of this stuff, especially Don't Get Stabbed. Like, this would work as a video game.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of time and effort and investment to get there compared to right now just adding on to my library and stuff of games. So it's on my radar of, kind of like a like Among Us type thing, like where one person's the killer, you chase people around, you try to stab them.
Card games are genuine. I mean, card games are genuine. It gathers a group of people, like, unlike video games anymore, it's just online. Like, you never are personally with those people and enjoying yourselves. It's like just on a microphone or something like that. But yeah, games like card games and stuff like that, it gathers everybody around and everybody has a great time.
Yeah, like I don't play online games just because like I don't need a 13-year-old telling me that I'm
God.
Like my head does that enough. I don't need doing that for me. So like I've never got into online games at all. I tried Among Us just because like it was so huge. I'm like, all right, well, culturally I have to know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I've got to try this a little bit. But generally, like I don't play online games. I like single player games where I get to live in my own little world and pretend no one else exists.
Yeah, it's perfect though.
Where are you from that they have this Yeti facility?
Utica, Ohio.
Okay.
Utica.
It started as this stupid story, and like some friends like said that they were out. The story was they were out driving around getting high, and that so it was like 3:00. They were out in this weird place, and they there was like electric fences, like 10 feet tall electric fences along the side of this road. And that all these vans came out, like these white vans, like very Stranger Things government, like secrecy type thing. And then they also saw a Bigfoot while they were at it. And so like we were like, well, we got to go fucking find this place. So we're actually pretty sure we found it, and their description wasn't entirely off. It was
wow.
It was like this is kind of weird. So like we kind of like snuck out there at night and like poked around. This is when we were teenagers and like couldn't get in that much trouble for trespassing. But like now that we look back, we're pretty sure this is like a militia type thing, and we were really lucky that none of them noticed that we were poking our heads around the property.
Fucking snipers up there, like, oh shit.
Yeah, because people ask me like, where it's at. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to go out there and get your ass shot, and I'm not going to be
Right.
responsible for it.
It's not my problem.
Hold up, it's just a kid. Don't shoot. They're headed back now.
Man, bear, pig.
I swear, I think I thought Utica was in a movie. I want to say like Wayne's World or something like that, or I can't remember.
Sounds familiar.
That was Aurora.
Right.
Aurora, Ohio.
Nah, I don't
Where's-
think
That was Aurora,
of any
Illinois.
movie that's
Illinois.
Where's the
I was in Utica
geographical?
last year.
Where is
Um,
Utica in Ohio?
Utica.
It was like
is-
Newark.
Yeah, it's in between Newark and Mount Vernon. If you ever heard of Velvet Ice
Okay.
Cream, Velvet's there.
Yeah,
That was my first job, scooping ice cream at Velvet.
All right.
Other than
I had
milking
breakfast
cows
at
on
the
the dairy
Pioneer
farm.
restaurant last year.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
what it was.
gone now, unfortunately.
Is it? I think
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
We rode a
they had
motorcycle over there one
Pioneer
day, had
and,
breakfast.
It was called something else for a while. Now it's closed. Something else is supposed to go in there. I don't know.
So how many games you got like lined up coming up? I mean, you're working on the Nuns and Nunchucks. Have you got like multiple in like chamber that you're possibly ready to get ready on the production side, or you're still waiting?
Yeah, once Nuns with Nunchucks done, I'm gonna finish up the drinking game. It's called Beer Gods, and
Nice.
it's kind of a typical drinking game of like make rules and stuff. But in this, you get points, and then if you get enough points, you get favored by the gods. And the gods in it are like actual gods of alcohol from like real folklore and history.
Oh,
and
really?
stuff.
That's
Yeah, my friends were making fun of me of like, of course you would make a drinking game and make it fucking educational somehow. So like it's got, I can't remember, but some of them off the top of my head, but like there's one Chinese one that's like, it's a bunch of like rabbits or like the alcohol gods and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like I put in what it is and like the history of where it came from and everything. And I had a buddy of mine do some artwork of like a Roman statue, but like it's a guy who has like a beard and shades and slippers and he's holding up a beer bong and holding a keg under his arm.
Nice.
So that's probably the closest. I got one I'm working on called Malpractice, which is like doctors that are lying about actually healing people, and so you can like call out the other doctors if they lied and didn't actually heal them correctly.
I just watched a documentary about that.
Botched.
Oh my god.
And then I've
Drinking
got
game would be fun. That sounds kind of difficult though, because like it can't be too complicated. Because eventually you're just gonna get drunk. You're gonna forget shit anyway. You're gonna forget everything anyways.
I have 3 rules when I make a game: is that it has to be different, you have to be able to learn it in 5 minutes, and drunk people have to be able to do it. And like those are the 3 things. Like I like, you have in the gaming community, you have like games like Settlers of Catan and like stuff that's like much up farther up than that. That's not the kind of stuff I make. I make the stuff that's very casual. Hang out. If someone wants to tone out because they're going to be on their phone for 5 minutes and come back in,
Yeah.
it's not like they're going to be totally
my
lost.
turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to test for that too, because like when you make a game, you assume people are going to be logical, and most of the time they're not. So like when you play test, you have to be like, okay, this person's going to make a move that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But how does that actually affect the game itself? Because you have to account for people that do that.
Like kids.
crazy.
Exactly.
Or drunk people.
Or drunk people.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
You ever played Dungeons and Dragons? You
I have
D&D guy?
not.
Actually, I'm not
Actually.
either. I have a buddy who actually for work, he just started getting into it because his other buddies told him to. But like, I guess one guy is like really into it, so he's like the dungeon master. But he's like, all we do is go over there and just drink, and he calls out everything. And like, he told me I think he said he was a mage or something like that too. So like, I kind of got the inspiration for how you got the name.
I remember the old games like Warhammer 40K, where you'd like actually sit there and paint all your figurines, and like they would have massive battles in the card stores. Like
that's still huge. Like,
is it really
still
Warhammer
bigger
really?
now than Warhammer's still around, definitely.
No kidding.
Like there's I think this
I love
one's,
painting
like,
them. That shit.
There's
was
games
sweet.
that are like over $100 and people buy them just for the miniatures to paint them.
Yeah.
So
it was fun. I mean,
yeah.
I would sit there for hours, like sit there with like a magnifying glass like thing and just sit there and paint. Oh, what is it from 40-year-old version? I will paint your silver plants blue.
Yeah, that's part of my like shame of being in the gaming community, as I've still never played Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, were you ever into like Magic or anything like that? No,
No, all my friends
couldn't
were.
get
I
into
just never got
Magic.
into it.
I couldn't get into Magic. We were all into Pokemon for sure.
But I never
I mean-
played Pokemon. Like I collected the
Just
cards like
collected,
everybody else,
yeah.
but no one actually ever played it. Even
I
now,
mean-
I don't know if people actually play Pokemon.
Oh,
I played
but
Pokemon.
My
they
kids
have
don't, they just
Pokemon
collect
nights at
them.
game stores.
I'll give you
Yeah.
these 2 cards for that one really good card. That's how I played Pokemon.
Yeah, to a little kid, you just stole some little kid's card.
Right?
It's my Blastoise now.
three potions for that Charizard. Got it.
Like, Mike, you're 35 years old. Why are you trading cards with a 10-year-old?
That's funny. Kevin, you got anything else?
I do not.
No. How did you how'd you find
you
us?
Don't? You had a whole list.
I was doing a
Okay.
search for Columbus based podcasts.
That's like the second time we've heard that.
So I
I've
don't
seen you
know.
going around.
I don't remember if you came up in the Google search or if there was like a 614 article that I found a bunch on. So I don't remember which
The
one. it was.
magazine?
Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
What?
it might have been. I don't remember. Like I was
It-
doing it late at night.
You're probably drunk,
Drunk.
too, right?
Had a few. What's your drink of choice, by the way?
So my doctor said I needed to cut down on carbs, so it's White Claws.
Oh, White Claws.
Hey, like
Okay.
those fuck you up.
Yep, ain't no laws, right?
See, look, Tyler did that just for you.
We get the black cherry.
Got the
Speaking of-
variety pack.
Can we
The
acknowledge?
variety
Can we go ahead and acknowledge Tyler's pajamas right now?
It looks very
Ah.
Chris,
Christmas.
look.
We have matching for the whole family.
pack.
And
Oh my god.
You get your pictures taken, send them out in a Christmas card.
normally, but we haven't done it this year. And I'm the only one that has pockets in my pants.
Oh,
I told my wife, dude, that's like the one thing that I have to. If you buy all these crazy ass PJs, I have to have pockets.
Damn. Some dude was like tailoring yours. Like, specifically made Tyler's pants. Gotta have them pockets.
Fucking pockets in there.
pocket face. Jeez. Oh shit. Oh,
What else you like to do besides games?
Well, I've
Spare time.
I don't have a lot of spare time anymore. I keep giving myself more shit to do.
Nothing
So
wrong with
I'm on a board
you
for
should.
for an organization that like takes care of wounded wild animals and then like takes them into like classrooms and libraries and teaches kids like these are owls and this is why they're good and these are snakes and these are why they're good. So
Wow.
I've been helping them out. I'm also bringing back the Utica Haunted Forest, which is like the Halloween attraction where you walk
Yeah.
through the woods and people scare the shit out of you and stuff. It's been gone for about 15 years, and a buddy of mine, we were like, all right, screw this, we're gonna get it done. So we've got a location, we've got like a lot of the organization put together. So now it's finding the money to get people to pay
You
for
could do
it.
Do it.
I'll-
Because this past Halloween, like, I don't know, it felt like there was not enough haunted houses. Like, it was
Yeah.
the hoochie, and like just the basic ones that are overpriced and not really that scary. To be
Yeah.
honest, I mean, they just took a lot of them away.
Yeah. So what happened in like that industry was like through like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so like a lot of these haunted houses were all like nonprofits put on by like Lions clubs and JCs and stuff like that. And then these big commercial ones started showing up, and they like obviously they had a lot more capital, so they ended up being much more popular because of that. So people started going to those, and the other ones kind of died off. But now there's not enough commercial ones to actually fill the need. So some of these nonprofit ones are popping back up. Like ours will be a nonprofit. The money goes to help like local firefighters and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
So like there's several like around Central Ohio that over the past 2 years have popped back up that have been like gone for years.
Okay.
I did for my government class. We had to do community service, and that was I got to work. What's the Olden Tangy haunted caverns?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they gave me a chainsaw with no blade, and I just and had an Jason mask, and I went.
love
Hold
to
on.
do that.
And I
Like,
went and
sit
sat
there
in the
scare
woods.
people. I would do it
and
for
scare
free.
the shit out of people for my community service for government
Yeah.
class. It was awesome.
I had to fucking go to
Damn.
what did I go to like a halfway house and like help do shit around there. And you went to go to scare little kids with a chainsaw for community service.
I had to pick up trash at the fucking Delaware racetrack
Yeah, that's
in the bleachers. Are you?
that's bullshit. How did you find that?
I don't remember doing community service.
I don't even remember where the hell I
Yeah,
found
that
it.
wasn't a thing when I was in school.
Damn.
We did. We
I
had
must
long
have, but I don't
hours.
remember
That
it.
was stupid. I mean, did they really keep track, or did they just like? I guess they're
I think
gonna
they
go
might not
try to
have,
do
'cause I don't
shit.
think I did
it.
That was like 17 years ago, but I don't
Still
remember that at all.
graduated. It was a prereq, and
So you being a
Hmm.
big horror fan, obviously, what's your favorite scary movie?
Uh,
Your top 3. If you got
so for nostalgia, it's definitely going to be Scream. So Scream was the first horror movie that I ever saw.
Just
Like,
the original, though. Please, just the original.
yeah,
Oh,
just
The
the
other
original.
ones weren't nearly as good.
I mean, I do like the other ones, but the first one is the best.
terrified
So,
me.
like horror movies weren't something like that were watched in my house, so it's not like they were even like sitting around for me to like watch my parents weren't looking type thing.
Right.
So I went and stayed the night at a friend's house, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to watch Scream?" And I had heard of it, because it was so big at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, yeah, absolutely." So he put it in, and like I was hooked like immediately. Of
Yeah.
okay, well, I got to find more of these. But I think probably like,
Oh, you loved it.
oh yeah, it was fantastic. Like,
Oh my god, I was fucking terrified. I was fucking terrified. Like I would literally hit the light switch on the wall and make it to my bed before the light went out.
Mike, you got to remember, we were like 8 or 9 years old when that movie came out.
I know, but still, man, Scream fucked me up for a long fucking time. Like now I'm like, yeah, but
yeah, now like I'm
Scream's not
desensitized.
scary.
And he actually liked it. He was like, wow, that's
Scream's not
awesome.
scary as compared to other.
No, but yeah, it was just whew.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Have you ever
My s-
watched
okay.
Black Christmas, like from the 70s?
Huh.
No.
If you
feel
ever
like
get a
I
chance,
might
you
have.
should watch it, because like it came out before like Halloween, Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all that stuff. And like you see like how much that movie inspired everything else that came
Everything.
out of it.
Yeah.
Like it starts with a guy calling, and the call is coming from within the house. That's the first one that ever did that.
Oh wow.
And like
Huh.
it actually doesn't have a happy ending, which is nice. Like like it's like
right.
so interesting. I guess spoiler alert, but
Nobody
got-
makes
no-
it out.
nobody gets presents.
The killer finally wins. Oh hell.
yeah, like I've been into like ever since then, like I always have a list every Halloween, and like throughout the year I have like a list of horror movies that I start adding on, and then like the moment the first of October hits, then it's like every night we're gonna start pounding through this list because it's
Yeah.
Halloween season. I'm doing this every single night. I do it all year, but like I always make sure I have a
Right.
nice list of stuff to go through.
Do you watch Evil Dead?
No, I
The
haven't
evil-
watched like the show.
Fistful boomstick? No.
Oh, the
no.
actual movie. Oh yeah, the movie.
Yes, the movie. Oh yes. Evil
Because they
Dead,
have like
Fistful
a
Boom-
they have
It
a
was-
series now on Showtime, I think.
They do?
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Come on. God.
Well, Scream did a series on what MTV. I never
Netflix
watched
or
it.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
was on
like,
Oh,
MTV.
that's right, with MTV.
they had 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons didn't even use like the ghost face mask. It was like some cheap knockoff.
Oh.
And I don't know if they just got a bigger budget, but then the 3rd season they finally were able to afford the actual
The actual
ghost face mask.
Probably still have it in my closet. They could probably have called me.
I got it for $15 at Spirit Halloween.
That's what my son was
Like this year.
for Halloween. He was he's 10 years old. He's obsessed with horror movies. Like, and I don't care. I'll let him watch
Fuck
whatever.
yeah.
He watches all of them all the time. But that's what he was for Halloween. He was Scream, and he got the old school with the heart when you
Oh,
That
scream.
you
pumped it.
pump in,
Oh,
the
yeah.
blood
Oh,
goes
yeah.
down the
Goes
face.
Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Nice.
My buddy's friends, my buddy's son went as Michael Myers, and he made my friend take a photo and send it to me because he knew that I would appreciate his costume.
Nice,
go.
nice.
Those Michael Myers masks are expensive because I was going to get one because those things are.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do that with the outfit and like go ride a bike down the street like you see on the TikToks and shit all the time. But those masks were like $70. I was like, no.
You'll get shot
the
out there
Ghostface
doing
mask
that
was like-
shit, Kevin.
It was like $12.99.
Yeah, no
Right?
shit.
Yeah, especially out here.
Kevin lives
Especially
in
out
the
here.
country where
We own guns.
You
You
don't,
Damn,
you don't fuck
own
around
guns
there.
out here.
Yeah.
Is that a
Like
deer?
lots of them.
Is that a deer?
Is that a deer?
You're just giving people reasons to shoot you, man. You're just like-
Right.
Have you seen
Stay
the
safe, Kevin.
they put feed in a Scream mask for squirrels, and then the squirrel, have you seen that?
Yes.
The squirrel gets his head in there and it's like screaming around.
So the only movie that's ever made me have like an eerie feeling, I think I've talked about this before, is the first Paranormal Activity. When that came out in theaters, that was just because everything looks so like the homemade movies type of thing, and that such
Well,
eerie
that was the
feeling.
first movie like that ever made.
You were
Besides
like
Blair Witch.
security
Yeah.
type
Besides
film.
Blair
I mean,
Witch.
like, you had the Blair Witch.
project.
Right,
Yeah.
like the OG, but
Yeah, Blair Witch was what, 97?
Something
Some
around there, yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Because like I went to see
That
that
movie
in
was kind of
theater.
creepy.
Yeah. And like we lived out in the country then, and like me and my friend, we went to see it, and like he was my neighbor, so we went to see it, and then he was supposed to walk home, and it was
He's
like,
like, fuck that.
midnight.
Fuck that.
We live out in the
Nope.
country; it's like a quarter mile at least
Yeah.
to his house. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to walk with me?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't." You're on your
Don't
own.
walk back by yourself,
bro.
have a good night.
You'll be fine.
You're good.
My dad lived out in the country as well, and
99.
he had cornfields all around his house. And when Signs came out,
Oh yeah.
I didn't go outside for a while. I was like, fuck
Jeepers
that. Nope.
Creepers was a fucked up one. When I first saw Jeepers Creepers, man. Oh, Ian and we all had like a sleepover, and I had to sleep next to the fireplace because they all thought that Jeepers Creepers was gonna come down the fireplace and fucking rip somebody out, and it was gonna be me.
I always love that movie because like the guy's like some sort of like bat / bug
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, he somehow managed to get personalized license plates. And
Right,
it's
right.
fantastic.
This old like truck, like
I just imagine him in line at the DMV.
That's funny.
Do you have any felons or anything like that?
Right. No.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna- yeah, right.
Is this piece of shit truck insured?
I don't know, but he
Yeah.
always came out at night. Well, no, he was in the daytime too. Okay, all right, never
Yeah,
mind.
he
I was saying,
comes out
probably
every
missed their
17
hours.
years or something.
Yeah,
Like every
Oh,
17
so his
years.
tags
he
are
gets-
expired.
the second one was even cheesier though, where they trapped all the kids on that school bus, and he just like kept
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out of the sky and like ripping them out of the windows, like.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There's a new one out. I was watching on Paramount last week called Smile. You guys seen that?
Yes.
Oh, where everybody's
I watched. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so creepy.
It is on my list
Smile,
to
they're-
watch after the holidays because like this is my busy season. I don't get to do anything I want to
Yeah.
do for like the entire month.
Yeah.
So next month is like, okay, I've got that on the
Guys,
list. There was something else. Beast or something. I forget what it's called.
Oh, with
okay,
the
yeah.
with
Or Barbarian
uh,
or something. Something in Detroit.
oh, it's different then.
But like I'm like in a bunch of like horror groups on Facebook and stuff. So like stuff gets
Gotcha.
thrown up there all the time. Like, all right, I gotta add this to the list of shit to see. But there was like a new Jeepers Creepers that just came out, but everyone hated it. So I just
What?
didn't
Seemed
bother.
like- yeah.
It's like
I think it was
number
on, like,
4 now.
it
Or
was
Is
like
something.
Justin
Hulu or something.
is Justin Long in it?
Probably not.
Is Justin Long in it? Ah, damn.
Is he in anything anymore?
I mean, if he would, I mean, but they're revamping everything. I mean, why not put Justin Long in that?
Well,
Jeepers
ask 'em.
Creepers Reborn.
So real quick, back to the Smile movie. Did you hear about the promotion? How they did that?
No.
So
Uh-uh.
it was like it was during I think the World Series.
Playoffs, yeah.
World Series of baseball. The way they paid somebody like a woman or somebody like
Other people. There's multiple people.
multiple people. They paid them to sit behind like the fucking dugout
Home
or
plate.
whatnot, home plate with the camera, and just have that creepy ass smile the whole time and not fucking move. Like that's
They
how they
stood
promoted
up.
the movie.
They'd stand up and
genius.
just
Stand up, just
smile the whole
smile.
time.
All creepily like
I
during the
should
fucking
do
game.
I should just like
should do
get
that.
like
sneezes. All right,
go to the
you're out
Super
of
Bowl
here.
and just hold up my game in the background.
There you go. Let's have a bunch of nuns start fighting with
Good Morning
nunchucks.
America.
Yeah.
Just stand up in the
There's a
background
fight
and
broke out in the
smile.
stands. Bunch of nuns. Oh, they got nunchucks. It's a giant brawl.
You do like a flash mob with a bunch of nuns. Just break
I
out.
got to work on a Kickstarter video for it, and so my idea is because like it's nuns with nunchucks, but like it's a bunch of other crazy characters that I've thought of.
Yeah.
So like I want to get them like Lord of the Rings style, like 2 lines and like big battle
And
flags.
just everybody
Oh god, like
attack.
And just like running at
Ah!
each other and like the overly dramatic music.
That'd be
I
fun.
ordered a flag. I made like a nun flag that like for them to wave as they go into battle.
That's awesome.
Because I was going to do it over the summer, but then like I had to move this to the spring, and so I'm like, I don't know if I can convince my friends to go out in the cold. So I might have to up the bribe to actual.
That'd be awesome. Or like the old I don't know if you ever played Super Smash Brothers. That when that game first came out,
Yes.
they're like all like holding each other, and then out of nowhere, just one person trips the other one, and they start fighting.
Yep, that's actually on the list of inspirations for the video of if I can't do a big battle, I'm like maybe I'll do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Oh, let us know. I will be out there battling.
Well, like
You
might be in a
some fun
dinosaur
stories,
suit,
man.
might be dressed up like Abraham Lincoln. Like there's no
Hey.
telling what you're gonna end up as. So
That's fine with
We're
me,
cool.
man.
That'd be
Fucking.
That'd be sweet. Oh shit. All right, man. Well, like we definitely appreciate you coming on here and talking about this because this has been I've like I said never even thought about how this even goes about how board games, card games, anything happens. So I mean, definitely appreciate you coming on because it's awesome.
It's inspiring.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
inspiring.
I appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's so cool of like I get to just have fun with people most of the time in my job, and like you can't beat that.
That's all
Like,
it's about,
best,
man.
right?
Yeah.
and like all the stupid shit that I thought of, now I get money for it. Like
That's
No,
the best.
That's
It
the
makes
goal.
Especially when
Now I don't.
when you were drunk too.
Exactly.
Yeah, even better.
What I got one more. Is there any out of print games that you wish you could get?
Ooh. Huh. I don't know.
Ooh.
Like
Wow, tough
there
question.
was so when I was a kid there was this game, I think it was called the Omega Virus, and you had like these
the
plastic...
coronavirus prequel.
Yes. If you remember that.
A mega
Remastered.
Was it
It
a
was
mega
this-
strain? No.
It was like some like it was a board game but it had like electronic component, so like you had to get these key cards, and like the virus was like an AI computer virus type thing, and it had the cheesiest voice, but you could play it one player, and I got it for Christmas and I played it all the time, and like now that I'm in this industry I'm like, oh man, I really want to play that again.
Mhm.
And I found some on eBay, but they were like either totally destroyed or way too expensive. So yeah, I would say the Omega Virus, because just for good old nostalgia, I want to try it again.
That's always fun. I know. I have a-
What's your favorite video games you play? I know you were saying you play mostly like I guess like story modes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like really into retro gaming at the moment. Like I've done all I've just replayed like all the top-down Zeldas, except for Minish Cap. That's the next one I'm about to do.
Nice.
That Sonic collection came out, so I played through that. But like modern games, like I really like the Far Cry games because they're just
Oh my
kill
god. Far
stupid
Cry.
havoc. Like
It's
I don't like super serious realistic stuff. I like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be in a fake world, I want it so when I blow someone up, they go 30 feet. You know?
Did you like Far Cry 5?
Yes, Far Cry 5 is my favorite one.
That's the best John C. Oh my god. My wife and I fucking love that. Like we played it twice through. It's
I
amazing.
play through it at least probably once a year.
Oh, I love
Yes.
it. It's so
Like
good.
it's my favorite one. It's like my comfort game. Like
yes. That is such a good game.
Did you ever play? You played Red Dead Redemption?
I played the first one. I started playing the second one and then got really annoyed that it took like 20 minutes to open a drawer. And then just never kind of really
fucking played it again. That's such a detailed game that they have so much stuff in there that you can just get like besides the main storyline, you can be fucking around for another 2 hours just mess around with like random shit.
Just like Grand Theft Auto,
just gets lost in it.
Yep.
But
do you ever play Left 4 Dead?
I have not played Left 4 Dead, no.
So I got my buddies. My wife's from Tennessee, so I go down there. I lived down there for 2 years. So every time I go down there, like I'll hang out with them. But every year at Thanksgiving is normally when we go back for to go and visit. But every Thanksgiving, all my buddies get together down there, and that's what they play because it's like a 4-person or whatever, and you can just go and play. And it's just it's a good time.
We do that. Sorry, go ahead.
Like me and my buddies, like every year we rent like a cabin and have like a guys weekend. And I found an old Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye and like got 4 controllers and like we do that and we do that in Mario Kart.
Mm.
And invite us next time.
I can't do.
I'm down for a good guys' night. It'd be good.
I tried GoldenEye,
we
but
get drunk. We play video games. Like
that's what we're about.
That's all we need, right?
But I can't use that fucking the 4 yellow arrows. I cannot do that. I can't line it up. I've gotten too used to like the thumbsticks. Like I used to like hold the top left button and like aim around with like the yellow buttons or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was ridiculous.
So like that controller is so awkward, like compared to like what you have now.
Do you hold it in the middle with like your?
Yeah, I hold it in the middle. I don't hold it at the end.
Okay, it does. It does depend on what you're playing. God,
it's more like wrestling games. Like you had to use the D-pad for most of it.
Yeah,
classics.
Chris WrestleMania 2000 and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
NWO.
Chris was trying to show you his tattoo. Show me your tattoo, Chris. He's got a full video game sleeve.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess I got
very cool.
Super Smash. So I got like the whole ordeal.
Nice
going. Big game.
I just got a "Don't Get Stabbed" tattoo on my leg.
Nice.
I was like,
see it.
I should memorialize it somehow.
Let's see it.
I don't know if I can get it on camera.
We're trying to get
the artwork's awesome though.
You see it?
He's got it.
There it is.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
That's
That's awesome.
Sweet.
That is sweet.
That is
I love
sweet.
it. That's awesome.
Damn. That was like really detailed too. Like, fuck yeah. Where'd you get it done at?
Called Thrill Vulture in Westerville.
Okay.
We got a couple done there, so I always go back.
You're gonna get every one of your games you get out, you're gonna get a tattoo of it.
Awesome.
Probably just this one.
This is on. You don't want portal potties on you, man?
Yeah, I don't know if I want a lizard.
Portal potties.
Get some O-nuts.
O-nuts on it, yeah. That'd be funny. He was looking at you. Hey, it's free advertising, man.
Yeah, true. I told my friends, like, if you get a Rookie Mage Games tattoo it on your face, like, I'll give them $100. No one's taking me on it.
Yeah,
Shit. Like right in the middle. Like,
as long as it's visible, I don't care. You know,
Right.
I'm a lenient on this.
Post Malone or something that's like right here under the beard.
We all did. Oh shit. Well, like speaking of promotion, man, you got anything? I mean, go ahead. You got the whole, the floor is yours. You got anything you want to say? Or
so like I've got a winter sale going on right now. So like if any of these games sound good, if you go to rookiemage.com, like most of everything's like 20% off. And then I've got a promo code for listeners of your show. So it's just C average, you get an extra 10% off.
Let's
And then
go.
all my stuff's on Amazon too. If it's amazon.com/rookie mage games, comes up with everything.
We didn't talk about too many of your run through all your games real quick, because we didn't talk about you. Go ahead and you tell us your games, and I guess like the
Getting some for Christmas, by the way.
the short version of what each game is about.
Okay. So you have the first game is Don't Get Stabbed. So it tries to recreate a horror movie. So you have one person who's the killer, everyone else is victims. Killer's trying to get everyone stabbed 3 times. Victims are trying to get a car put together so they can escape. Then you have The Unseen. It's about a cult taking over a town. It's like a secret identity game. So if you like something where you get to lie and manipulate and scream in people's faces, that's the one for you. I have one. It's called Full of It. This is inappropriate conversation starters. It's stuff like what's the most likely reason your neighbors hate you, and why are your parents disappointed in you, and where's the weirdest place you've ever taken a poop type stuff.
Nice.
The tagline is conversation starters for horrible people and dirty liars. And someone gave me a 1-star review on Amazon on this because they said it was too inappropriate.
What?
I was kind of proud of it. Of like,
I would be too.
I don't know what else to put in that listing to let you know it's inappropriate.
Right,
I'd take that review and put that like right up the
explicit
front
content,
page.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
put it on marketing.
fucking warning signs, like no children.
Like, thank you.
She's like,
They wouldn't like this podcast either.
Your best review is a 1-star.
And then I've got Zombies Want Pizza. So this is like the first one I made for my nieces and nephews. This is like gross ingredients that you put together. So it's got like old lady farts and chocolate covered like beetles and
Nice.
gross
My
stuff
daughter
that I
would
could
be
think of. And
all
you put it on a
about
pizza
this.
so the zombie wants that and doesn't eat you.
oh,
Then there's Oh Nuts, which is about squirrels fighting over nuts for winter. Very Looney Tunes type inspired. And then Portal Potties, which is about the wizards teleporting poop into each other's toilets to make them overflow and put them out of business.
nice.
And then I got Nuns with Nunchucks. That's coming to Kickstarter in the maybe March. I haven't officially decided yet, but it's going to be early 2023. This is like a battle game of like the craziest combatants I can think of. My favorite is a Tony Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln's lesser known twin brother. And there's also one that's your disappointed mother. And the bottom of the card says your brother would have won this game by now.
That's awesome.
Oh
shit.
yeah.
That's everything so far.
Everything.
I got more coming.
So far.
Well, everybody, like I said, go on. It's on Amazon anywhere.
It's rookiemage.com, or you can go to amazon.com/rookiemagegames and everything will be there.
There you go,
Awesome.
guys. Is it and all in the C average? Is it a C space average, or is it all
No,
just
just
one word?
C average, like one
C
word.
average, one person.
Yep.
Awesome. Go get your games. Great stocking stuffers. Great, Christmas coming up. Go ahead and go and get those. Man, like I said, I can't thank you enough for coming on, man. That's awesome. I hope all the best for you. Hope all these games sell fucking out every year for you.
Thanks.
What's one thing? Are you the one like sending them out, or do you have someone to actually distribute them to you? Just
I send out some, but Amazon, I use the Amazon FBA where like they're stored in an Amazon warehouse.
okay.
And so if you order
That's
through
cool.
Amazon, they send them out, which saves me a ton of time. But like
Yeah, for
anything through like my website or a couple other things I do, but like most of my stuff's ordered through Amazon. So they deal with most of it, thankfully.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Because like we had T-shirts there for a while. We were like trying to sell to people, and we had to send it. Damn near cost of shipping cost more than a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right, like, yeah.
It's just like how on earth, like it's half the price of the product is just getting it in someone's hands. It's crazy.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
We had sent one to LA,
Yeah.
and it was like $20 to fucking send it to LA.
Yep.
Like, Jesus.
And I think it got stolen like twice.
Yeah.
Like 2 of them. Someone stole his package. They even-
Yeah, I had
they
to,
need give
I
it.
had to send a
Yeah.
couple games. There was one to Turkmenistan, I think, because when the Kickstarter happened, like you can order anywhere.
Yeah.
So I like had to figure out how to send there. So I just like I was in the post office, just like, I don't care how it gets there.
Just fucking ship it.
This is the address. They're like, this address doesn't make sense. I'm like, I know, but this is what I have.
And this is where it needs to go.
If it doesn't make it, doesn't make it.
Like, where's the zip code? I'm like, I don't think they have those.
Is it 2?
It's
I think it's
Turkmenistan.
2.
The third shack on the left.
So where all have you sent them? Like
Oh, I mean,
globally.
for the Kickstarter, like they've been everywhere. Like I sent it to Air Force, like carriers.
Oh,
That
nice.
like they all have addresses, which I didn't know was a thing, but like I sent them there. Like now, like I just got into distribution over the summer, so now it's like in stores in like Canada, Europe, Australia, and stuff. But like they're everywhere. Like some guy sent me a photo of from where was it? Country in Africa. But he was there visiting someone and they had a copy, and he took a picture of it and sent it to me.
That's sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Oh,
like
yeah,
in
man.
the in-store stuff, do you have displays or are they just like on the shelf?
They're just on the shelf. Like,
Have you thought about displays or
I've thought about it, and we might do it for some local ones. But for the cost of the actual display, I'm not convinced
yeah.
it's worth it yet. I'm just not big enough yet. Like a couple years, I might be big enough where it's worth it.
Let's get you there, man.
Fucking
Sure.
proud of you, man.
Trying
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Keep
Keep it up,
going.
man.
Keep going.
Oh shit. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end this. Really going on an hour. I know you got stuff to do. It's already 11 o'clock. Post my kids.
More beer to
every
drink.
week and more beer to drink and everything else. But again, man, appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Come
thanks
back
for
anytime.
having
Let us know any new games coming out, man. You just
Yeah, let us
holler at
know.
us
We'll
for sure.
coach you.
Yeah, when I get the new prototypes for Nuns with Nunchucks in, I'll send them to you. Have you guys
Yeah.
try it out.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Cool.
All right.
Good.
Well, for See Average Podcast, thank you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll put all the information for the Rookie Mage games down in the YouTube link and everything else. So for Jordan McLaughlin, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
Finally. Chris Webb, Tyler Thomas, Kevin Sire, Mikey Scheid. We love you guys. We're out. See ya.